Aloha, I'm Joanna Amberger with 3FG Law in Honolulu, Hawaii. I've been advising people on estate and financial planning since 2007. I hold an MBA and a JD from the University of Hawaii, and I'm a certified financial planner. Welcome to our masterclass, How to Guard a Lifetime's Worth of Assets for the Ones You Love. Who this is for? This masterclass is for people in the Hawaiian Islands, women with financial power, women in the LGBTQ plus community, or those with complex, non-traditional families who want to ensure their loved ones are cared for, individuals who want to preserve their dignity and choices in life, ensuring their wishes are followed and avoid trauma after they're gone, and people who don't have children and are struggling to name decision makers for healthcare and financial matters. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share the keys to creating an estate plan that supports your goals and values. You'll learn how our clients achieve relief from knowing that they have a plan that aligns with their goals and values, a sense of accomplishment in tackling a complex and often overwhelming issue, peace of mind that their loved ones will be cared for and protected, an estate plan that prevents conflict and promotes harmony and convenience throughout the process, allowing them to plan comfortably and without stress. And we'll do all of this without the need to fight through traffic or take time away from your busy life, wasting precious time on long, complicated meetings, and without the confusion and overwhelm that often comes with traditional law firms and legal jargon. And you can still accomplish all of this, even if your family situation feels too complex or difficult to navigate, even if you think you're not wealthy enough to need an estate plan, and even if you don't have all the answers right now. That's exactly what we're here to help you figure out. If that's what you're here for, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Do any of these sound familiar? Are you overwhelmed by all the decisions you have to make? Intimidated by the formality of attorneys? Unsure about what to expect in the process? Worried about runaway costs and lack of transparency? Or scared you'll be judged or make a mistake? I have some good news for you. None of those are the real problem. They're just symptoms. The real problem is that you haven't worked with someone who truly understands and can guide you through the process. Once you work with someone who understands your unique situation, you'll feel confident that your plan will work when it's needed, assured that your wishes will be respected, positive that the burden of planning is off your shoulders, comforted by having a trusted partner on your journey, and relieved knowing your questions are answered and your choices protected. What I'm going to share today may go against conventional wisdom, so why should you listen to me? My passion for estate planning began when I witnessed my mother struggle as the financial decision maker after my parents divorced. She felt overwhelmed and avoided making decisions until it was too late. When I was in high school, I put my name on the checking account and took over the family finances. That first experience started me down the path of serving women and ultimately led me to opening my independent financial planning firm to give women a safe space to participate in creating financial plans tailored to their unique goals and values. As a financial planner, I saw many estate plans come through my office that were woefully out of date and no longer aligned with my clients' values and goals. I decided to open an estate planning firm to do estate planning a little differently than what's common in the industry. Most attorneys create a lovely plan, give you a fancy binder, and kick you out the door. They send you a letter that says, "You're not my client anymore," but they mention in passing that you should call them anytime and come back to update. Almost nobody comes back to update in my experience. They put the binder on the shelf and they let it collect dust. One client hadn't touched their plan for nearly 25 years. In that time, they had 2 children, bought a house that didn't get titled into their trust. Had they died during that time period, the plan would have failed because they would have ended up in probate. At 3FG Law, we don't just create estate plans and walk away. We offer an ongoing relationship, ensuring your plan is updated as your life evolves. Our client care program is designed to proactively keep your plan aligned with your goals. In my experience, I've seen many ways that people have made mistakes with their future planning. One of those mistakes is thinking your estate plan is finished once you prepare the documents. A plan needs to evolve with your life. For example, 20 years ago, a couple was just starting their family. They were in their first home, their daughter was just learning to walk, and their son just came home from the hospital. They put an estate plan in place to make sure their kids would be taken care of in case anything happened. And then life happened. That binder went on the shelf, forgotten. They sold that first house, bought a new house, and then they forgot all about that binder and the trust inside it. Unfortunately, a drunk driver hit them head on when they were driving back home after a celebratory dinner, and both of those parents died. And because the house had been forgotten in the plan didn't work. It failed at the precise moment the parents desperately needed it to work. The kids had to go through the long and costly probate process, which is exactly what the parents wanted to avoid. Many people think that having a will means avoiding probate. That is not true. Take Malia's story. Malia had always been the organized one in her family. A successful entrepreneur, she prided herself on having her affairs in order. When her father, Richard, passed away unexpectedly, she was confident everything was going to be straightforward. Richard had a will, after all. Malia was stunned when she learned that despite the father's will, the estate would need to go through probate. The reality of probate hit hard, especially when she learned that some of her father's assets would be tied up for months, leaving her and her siblings in a stressful financial limbo. The months dragged on. Malia and her siblings had to deal with multiple court appearances, unexpected legal fees, and the emotional toll of prolonged uncertainty. Family heirlooms and assets that had sentimental value were delayed in their distribution, causing tension among the siblings. And the situation became even more complicated when a distant relative popped up and contested a portion of the will, further lengthening the process and adding to Malia's frustrations. It took nearly 2 years for them to get through probate. Malia realized that if her father had just set up a trust or used other estate planning tools, the family could have bypassed probate entirely, saving time, money, and a lot of heartache. The secret weapon is the 3FG Lifeguard Plan. We don't just hand you documents and walk away. We take the time to understand your values, goals, and the people you care about. Our process is ongoing, with regular updates to ensure your plan works when it's needed. You'll have a trusted advisor by your side throughout your life's journey. So let's quickly recap. Mistake number 1, thinking estate planning is a one-and-done process. Mistake number 2, believing that a will alone avoids probate. And mistake number 3, not using our secret weapon, the 3FG Lifeguard Plan. The old way of estate planning looks like this. Thinking a plan is just the legal documents, forgetting about that plan after it's created, assuming a will is all you need, and doing it yourself without professional guidance. And does this even make sense? Estate planning is an ongoing process that must evolve with you as your life changes. Relying solely on a will often leads to probate, bringing delays, costs, and potential family disputes. However, there are effective tools to avoid probate if used correctly. Now, just as a dentist cares for your teeth, a qualified advisor will guide and protect your financial legacy with expertise. Life is unpredictable and nothing is guaranteed. While we hope for the best, it's crucial to plan for the unexpected to ensure you're prepared for any eventuality. My secret weapon is the 3FG Lifeguard Plan. We focus on an ongoing, relationship-driven approach. We guide you through every step of the process, making sure your plan evolves with your life and ensuring your loved ones are cared for. The 4 steps of using this secret weapon are recognizing you have a problem that's worth fixing. Commit to solving the problem now, not later. Meet with an attorney to design your plan, and relax and have peace of mind knowing your plan will work when it's most important. Many people think they'll get to estate planning later. Unfortunately, later often turns into never. Margaret, she was the epitome of a modern, successful woman. In her mid-50s, she built a thriving business from the ground up, raised 2 kids, Emma and Kavika, who were now young adults pursuing their own careers. Life was busy, and with her health in good shape, Margaret always felt that she had plenty of time to tackle her estate planning later. But life, as it often does, had other plans. Margaret suffered a sudden heart attack. In an instant, her life was cut short and her children were left to pick up those pieces. In the days that followed, Emma and Kavika, they were overwhelmed with grief. But the emotional toll was just the beginning. As they began to navigate the legalities of Margaret's estate, they realized just how unprepared they were. Margaret had no will, no trust, and no clear instructions on how her assets should be handled. The family home, her business, bank accounts, and investments, everything, they were all left in limbo. Without an estate plan, Emma and Kavika were forced into probate, a process they knew nothing about and weren't prepared to handle. What followed was months of court hearings, legal fees, and bitter disputes. Margaret's business, which she had poured her heart and soul into, became a source of contention. Without clear instructions, Emma and Kavika struggled to agree on what to do with it. Emma, who had always been closer to her mother's entrepreneurial spirit, wanted to keep the business running. Kavika, on the other hand, felt overwhelmed by the responsibility and thought it best to sell and just split the proceeds. As the probate process dragged on, the costs mounted. Legal fees ate into the estate, and the once thriving business began to falter without Margaret's leadership. Employees grew anxious, and clients started to look elsewhere. The financial burden added to the emotional strain, and the siblings, who had always been close, began to argue more frequently. What should have been a time for mourning and healing turned into a nightmare of legal battles and family discord. Months turned into years, and by the time the estate was finally settled, much of what Margaret had worked so hard to build was gone. The family home was sold to cover debts, the business was liquidated at a fraction of its value, and the relationship, most importantly, between Emma and Kavika, it was strained to the breaking point. In the end, Margaret's belief that she had plenty of time had really cost her children dearly. The lack of an estate plan not only created financial turmoil, but also fractured her close-knit family that she had always cherished. Naomi was a woman who prided herself on her independence. A successful software engineer and a self-taught DIY enthusiast, she believed there was nothing she couldn't figure out on her own. When it came time to create an estate plan, Naomi was confident she could handle it without any professional help. She spent hours scouring the internet, downloading templates, and reading articles on estate planning. Armed with self-help guides and online resources, Naomi pieced together what she believed was a comprehensive estate plan. She drafted a will, set up a basic trust, and even created advanced directives, all without consulting an attorney or a financial advisor. But what Naomi didn't realize was that her DIY approach had some serious flaws. Naomi didn't know what she didn't know. A few years later, Naomi passed away unexpectedly, leaving her family to unravel that DIY estate plan she had crafted. As they began to navigate the documents, it quickly became clear that things weren't as simple as Naomi had intended. Her trust had vague language that led to confusion about who should inherit certain assets. She did not properly fund the trust, and significant assets were left to go through the public and costly probate process. Naomi's children, already grieving, found themselves facing legal battles, expensive court proceedings, and unresolved disputes over her assets. Today, I promised to guide you through the creation of a truly comprehensive estate plan, one that not only reflects your values, but also provides lasting protection for your loved ones. This plan will grow and adapt with you, ensuring your wishes are honored and your legacy is preserved. I have explained how you'll avoid the pitfalls of outdated plans, costly probate, and unnecessary family disputes, giving you peace of mind, knowing that your future is secure and free from avoidable complications. At this point, you have two options. You can either do nothing or you can take action. Watching this masterclass doesn't solve the problem. Taking action does. I've set aside time in the next week to speak with you. Book a call with me today and we'll talk about your loved ones, discuss your goals and concerns, and start designing the best solutions for you. The cost of the call, absolutely free. Now, this call is not for everyone. It's for people who are ready to get started and take the next step. who value expert guidance and want an ongoing relationship, not just documents. If that sounds like you, book a call now. The reason I do this work is rooted in my passion for empowering women to take control of their estate planning and financial futures. As an estate planning attorney, I love helping clients feel confident in protecting their assets and securing their legacy for their loved ones. It's about bringing peace of mind by guiding you through the legal complexities of estate planning so that you can make informed decisions that align with your values. I take great satisfaction in helping you create a plan that ensures that your wishes are honored, giving you a sense of clarity and control over your financial and personal affairs. This work is about much more than drafting legal documents. It's about forming lifelong relationships with my clients. I'm here to support you and your loved ones, both in good times and during life's challenging transitions. My greatest reward comes from seeing the relief clients feel when they know they have a trusted partner to help them navigate these crucial decisions. I believe in truly listening to my clients, ensuring they feel heard and understood, and helping them build a legacy that brings them peace and protects their families. Below the video player, you'll see a Book a Breakthrough Call button. Click that now, and it will take you to my booking calendar. Pick a time that's convenient for you, and we'll call you at that time. There's no charge for this call. Let me share one last story. Leilani and Jordan understood the critical importance of estate planning, especially given their non-traditional family structure. Early in their partnership, they established a comprehensive estate plan that reflected their wishes and protected their rights. Over the years, they diligently revisited and updated their plan to accommodate both big and small life events, such as when they purchased their new home, were finally able to be married, changed jobs, and the birth of their nieces and nephews. This proactive approach ensured that their estate plan remained aligned with their evolving circumstances and intentions. Now, when Leilani was unexpectedly diagnosed with a terminal illness, their careful planning provided immense relief. Their plan enabled Jordan to make medical decisions on Leilani's behalf, ensuring her wishes were honored during her final days. Jordan was also able to make financial decisions when Leilani was too sick and keep their mortgage and bills paid. Because their plan was already in place, they were able to focus on spending time together and with their loved ones. After Leilani's passing, the estate plan functioned as intended. Their assets were transferred seamlessly to Jordan, avoiding probate and potential legal disputes with Leilani's family. This foresight allowed Jordan to focus on her grief and cherish the moments of their life together, free from the burdens of legal complications. Leilani and Jordan's commitment to regularly updating their estate plan ensured that their love and legacy were preserved as they envisioned. Thank you for attending this masterclass, and thank you for your attention. I really look forward to your call.